Welcome to Insaka Talk Show. My name is Nelly Matatila Bartholomew, and we are here with a topic that is near and dear to most of our hearts. I hope it's near and dear to your heart as well. Before we delve into that, I want to just introduce our beautiful co-hosts on the Insaka Talk Show today. And with me in the studio is the lovely Irene White.
Hello, everyone from Chi-Town, Chicago, USA.
And Priska van der Vesters Chirwa.
Hello, everyone. She's here with her wig. I'm stupid. I'm always doing that. Hi, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I am so excited to talk about this topic. If people ask for it over and over and over again, we thought we should talk about it today.
Today, not today. And also, last but definitely not least, we have the lovely Winnie Musonda from New Jersey.
Hi, everyone. Today, not today, like Nelly is saying, we're going to go in. And please, again, disclaimer, guys, it's not about you. It's not about anyone. People have been asking about this topic. So we're just going to go in and put in our 2 cents in there. And then go on for Bobby. I'm sorry.
Actually, no, I'm not sorry. It means you're learning something. So I will not be sorry.
But it means you didn't even listen to the disclaimer as well, right?
It means what is being said needed to be said, right? So please call your friends, call your aunties, your uncles, your whatever. I think most of us have been thrown in Muma committees, and we're going to jump right into it. I want to talk about this based on the song. You know, you heard us come in with the song. Like we said, this topic is about, it's a happy occasion, right? Weddings, kitchen party, winga time. So it's a happy time. But how does it turn into a sad time, a time of incongole for some people over your happiness? So we're going to talk about that. Meanwhile, can we get into the trending topics?
Before we go to trending topics, I think we have community news.
Oh, okay. Sure. What's happening in your community, Winnie?
No, my community is just quiet and cool. So far, nothing. I think greetings from my community to your communities.
I don't think we have anything happening in my community that I should talk about. So
we are having a town hall meeting next month. So we are having a meeting at my house. So I hope it's going to be fruitful. And we are trying to bring togetherness.
Priska?
We also will be having a town hall meeting. Speaking of community, you know, our former president of the SDMV will be joining us today.
Ooh.
She's a wedding coordinator, Inga Kim.
Yeah.
Joining us on the yes. She's in the background. So
nice. Thank you.
President. And we are having a town hall meeting. I think it's next month or this month. An open enrollment for the insurance. What is it called?
Cultural benefits.
It's important to have insurance, guys. It's important, yo.
Sorry.
Let's go ahead and let's ice-breaking questions.
Yes. So today's ice-breaking questions.
How do you deal with difficult people? I just ignore them.
I love them. I love them kindly. Like I'll give them the love whereby something is up. I don't even want you in my space, but I'm gonna love you kindly.
Me, I break their, like people who are very difficult, they have issues from the past. So you have to break that first so that you make them feel guilty. Like, why am I always wearing a very difficult face all the time? And these people are always like coming to me, hey, how are you? And then I'm carrying this burden. So you break that to make them feel bad. Next time you see they're the ones who are smiling.
Yeah, what about you, Nelly?
I think I try to understand, like, people just don't act out for no reason.
Yeah.
There's usually a reason behind, and that's why the benefit. But in any normal human being, if they're being difficult, they have a reason behind why they're being difficult. If it's somebody that I care about, then I'll have to sit down and find out what it is that is making them behave that way.
Absolutely.
If it's somebody I don't really care about, then it shouldn't bother me. Lobe.
Okay.
Wow.
Next.
What is the awesome thing that you were introduced to by a friend?
Makeup for me by Lorraine. Lorraine and I have been friends since we were 14. So she introduced me to makeup and I just took it and ran with it. As a matter of fact, I became a certified makeup artist before her. So that's one thing I always, when I think of Lorraine, I think of makeup.
Wow. Winnie?
I got a good one. I won't mention it, but I've been introduced by somebody very well who made me meet you guys. That?
Oh, you're a fool.
I needed to go there. Like, sometimes, right? No matter how I don't want to think about it, I'm grateful.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah,
I think it would be a number 2 for me too.
Yeah, me too.
Me too, to be a number 2. But for me, it's eyelashes. I still struggle with them. It's not my thing, but before I used to look down on people that used to put lashes and away from my lashes. Then one time I put them and then somebody recognized that my face was bright. I said, let me try it. But I tried 3 days later, I yanked them out. So my friend, sorry, you taught me, but I'm still struggling.
Nelly.
For me, what is that one thing? Money making. I was introduced to it by I think mostly by my parents, just the idea of hustling and entrepreneurship is something that I value. It puts food on my table. So yeah. Okay. What about the audience? The Insaka family,
Insaka family. Let's get to the Insaka family and do greetings.
Wangala says, hello, beautiful queens. Happy Sunday. Hey, beautiful. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate you. And she says, Irene, you want to take that?
Yeah, you look stunning. Our lovely queens, excited and looking forward. Thank you so much, Princess. Oh,
Melanie.
Oh, that's Liz.
Oh, that's Liz?
Topic. Why are you Melanin Queen?
She is a queen. She's Melanin Queen. I'm
looking forward to it.
All right. We have Charity Hamatri. That's a friend of mine. Hello, gorgeous queens. Looking beautiful. Virtual hugs. Thank you so much. Good topic.
Says good topic.
Yes.
Nsama, my sister, says, hello, Insaka family. Hey, Nsama. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
Insama.
Mutintamwala. I won't pronounce the last one. I don't want to butcher it. Hi, wonderful ladies. Thank you so much, Mutinta.
Hey, Mutinta. All right. Thank you so much for everyone joining today. And before we move on to the next segment, which is trending topics. Oh no, there's nobody that we missed. All right. So trending topics. What is trending? Guys, what's the first one we want to start with?
Sorry, guys. So
on the trending topics today, on a sad news, Ghanaian soccer player Christian Atsu was found dead in the rubble in Turkey. This is almost 2 weeks after they had the earthquake that has claimed the lives of over 45,000 people. Unfortunately, he went missing. His family have been trying to get a hold of him, and they recovered his remains yesterday in Turkey. May his soul rest in peace. He was only 31 years old.
And can you imagine, he played for Newcastle and Chelsea, and these are very big teams. So he was a well-known young man who had so much to look forward to. Yeah, you're right. May his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in peace. I heard.
Yes. Again, on a sad note, we have Nathan Bauer, who passed away in a road accident in Lusaka. He was a young man as well, I think in his 30s. Um, very sad, very, very sad. And apparently, a lot of people that knew him said he was a really nice guy. So, yeah, we will keep the family in prayers. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen.
I'll say something about it. Kuzambia my road accident, man. Kashinga chish delenga. Almost every month we are losing, and especially my celebrities. Like guys, I know it's not easy. You have to be in a studio drinking. Just be careful because you don't know the other guy who's coming on your way. Especially we have bad roads in Zambia. Oh, so sad. May so rest in peace.
Yeah, we'll be praying for the family.
I want to take that one. So it's two teachers. Apparently, they're both Siwales. One is the Victor Siwale, who is a head teacher for that month. The other one is Emmanuel Siwale. He's just a teacher. So these guys are teachers and they haven't been in class since 2020, Mwevandu.
Yay!
Are you serious?
They haven't been teaching. They just go and chongesha and bam kunwaka chasu.
And they are getting paid?
Yes, so I think that's how the Kasama District Educational Board Secretary heard about it, Mr. Andrew Chipili. He said, you know what? Let me catch them myself. That's why there's that trending video of him catching them. And I'm putting them on blast. That's why I mastered their names. Mr. Andrew Chipili, Secretary, Kasama District Educational Board Secretary, thank you for busting them. Because these children are waiting for these teachers to teach them, and they're busy. That's
what they said.
And you know, in Zambia, it has already gone trending. The t-shirts are Ndeangula Chimpapila. You know, it never goes. I love my country. But Victor, head teacher,
wow, that is
that is hard. Briska, you know what? But this time, I think last year when I was in Zambia, they only pick few teachers, and most of the people are left back. And then people want jobs, and then they give you the jobs, and then you are not you're not doing your job. It's not okay.
But Siame and Siame took those spots.
They need to go.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, they just need to be arrested because they've been stealing. They're getting paid for not doing their job.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Baziale, kachinga nimo baziale mwewa sambidile skulu yo. Kabaka ken siame.
Anyway, let's move on.
The cousins.
All right, what's the next topics?
1 second.
I was just going to say, Priska, you want to take the next trending topic about Rihanna?
It's just...
I don't know if you like that.
Rihanna is expecting a second baby. She revealed it at the Super Bowl, which was amazing. Somebody else did that. Beyonce revealed it at the concert, right? But what is crazy is people are so mean to her child. Like, children are off limits, guys. Let's not talk about people's children.
I know.
Zambia is going crazy. Who does that? That is so wrong.
I'll tell you about the Super Bowl, right? I liked it, but it's like Rihanna. I know we all know Rihanna. Like, I'll just be real. Sorry, Rihanna, but I don't know you. I'm gonna go real, just like American doing. We were waiting for you to just come and bang, bang. Even if you're pregnant, Beyonce was dancing. All she was doing was did it. Like,
well, she's pregnant.
Okay. I'll stop you right there. First of all, I don't. Women going against women, we don't like that. No, and I'll correct you, Winnie. Every pregnancy is different. Beyonce was able to twerk her ass off when she was pregnant does not mean that the next person will. And I've had 3 babies. Each pregnancy has been different. When I was pregnant with Manasseh, I literally painted a whole house. I did. Energy up to par. With Michaela, I was sick every freaking day. I was throwing up. I was doing this, but she probably signed the contract long before.
Yeah, because she got pregnant. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So she delivered as much as she could. So apologize.
Rihanna, sorry, okay.
Okay.
Oh, comments. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pastor says the sad part is
Pastor
those who's, yeah, they shouldn't be on payroll. Like seriously.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Siame, I'll be on you. Nala pangana TikTok.
People are so excited for this topic.
Yeah, Mrs. Mwangala, she said, Vatisha, this says a lot about our poor work ethics and lack of discipline measures from GRZ. How did we get there 2 years? Sure, 2 years. So she means they're on payroll for 2 years,
Yeah.
and the kids are, they can't even. Did you see the video that was saying the book is on the table and the book is under the kids cannot learn when the teachers are drinking cachaça.
I see one
want-
eye is
I
on
want
the
to say-
table, one eye is on the floor. It's my
Yeah.
teacher, mentally, something like that. Emoji, pachan, pado, or something like that. I remember that song.
I want to see the comment from Charity Amatui. She's calling for them to be jailed.
Yes, as they should be.
Mm-hmm. She's calling for them to be jailed. Yeah.
Yes,
As a teacher, you cannot. You cannot. Yeah.
Because it's not fair.
All right, guys, we have a very interesting topic. In the interest of time, we would love to move on. And we're going to go on our first commercial break. But before we do that, we do want to let you know, as Priska alluded to earlier, we have a very special guest who is in line, whose job is in line with the topic of the day today. And she is no other than AZDMV's former president. So you will see the lovely Miss Inga when we come back. But for now, we're going to go on break.
My whole life, my father told me stories about moving to the United States. He would tell me that his brother, my Uncle George, was already living here and let my father stay with him for a while. Through my Uncle George, my father was introduced to our cultural organization here in America, who helped him make connections, apply for college, find his first job, and adjust to life in a completely different culture than he was used to. The Cultural Association helped him get started on his new life. My Uncle George would bring my father with him to the annual Summer Cultural Groups Festival, and later, he would bring me. It was incredible to see so many people of all ages laughing and celebrating with food and song and dance. It brought back the best feelings of home and gave my father the opportunity to pass his culture, language, and values on to me. My father and Uncle George were very close, so when George died last year, my father wanted to honor his wishes to be buried with a traditional ceremony back at his birthplace. My father told me that because Uncle George had cultural group life insurance, he was able to afford to bring George home and have the traditional burial George wanted. Though my father had been able to honor my Uncle George's wishes, it got me thinking about my own family. One day, I'd have to make the same arrangements for my own parents and my wife's parents as well. Of course, we would want to bring them home and honor their wishes, but it would be a financial hardship for our family. There were a lot of things to think about, even though I really didn't want to think about them at all. When my father told me about cultural group life insurance, he told me it's intended to help families when they need it the most. It's not tied to an employer, so no matter where my career takes me, I'll always have coverage. The more people who participate and the younger they are, the more it helps keep the insurance premiums down for the entire association. Because my parents have cultural group term life insurance, there will be money available to help me provide the kind of service I want to give my parents. And by joining, I can put my mind at ease and continue to celebrate our traditions into the future. With cultural group life insurance, I can worry less and spend more of my time celebrating with the people who matter most to me.
Hello again. Welcome back to the Insaka Talk Show, guys. Na chidi lefele lo na kabrimbo tifindende fefi babwinga. Welcome to our special guest. Her name is Inga, the former DMV
Priska,
president.
are you sorry, Winnie? I think Priska would be better to introduce Inga because
Okay.
Wensa.
Nachela mfo karimbo kabidi.
wachiputula na kalwimbo because akalwimbo
Kisikalisha karimbo. Yeah. Yeah. Manambala.
That's what we deal with, guys.
Yeah.
Nelly said Inga she's a pillar in our community. She's a wedding coordinator. She's a former AZD MV president. And because today we're talking about weddings and expecting people to pay for your kitchen parties and your weddings, you need to stop. So as a wedding coordinator, let's hear what she has to say. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former president of the AZD MV, Inga Kim. Her name is beautiful. Inga Kim is so prestigious.
Very short.
Very short.
Welcome to the show, Inga.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Sorry, excuse the nasally situation. We're at a sick house over here, but we're fine. Nice to see you all, and thank you for the invitation. You all look beautiful. I didn't get the red lipstick memo though.
Look at me. Actually, you look different today.
Yeah.
Amazing. Because you always have red on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Usually I have color on. Today I was like, we're gonna keep it subtle, and yeah.
And the hair, you always like wear your hair short.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. There was a time in my life I was switching hairstyles every week, but thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Good to see you all. Happy New Year. I know I've been talking to most of you since the year started, so Happy New Year, belated. And thank you for having me. I'm here for this topic. We're gonna ruffle some feathers, but such is life.
Absolutely. And we'll dive right into it, right? So let's start with defining what is the purpose of forming a committee. What is the reasoning behind a wedding or kitchen party committee?
So to my understanding, it was started back, I don't know what year this was started, but it was back in the day when people were getting married at like 14, 15, 16. People were much younger. They were in much smaller communities, Badikumushi. So it took a community. It's like everybody coming together, or I'll cook Nshima, I'll cook rip, or I'll cook this. So everybody kind of came together. Yeah. But I think somehow we've kind of lost that, and it's become to finance my wedding.
Yeah.
And it should still be, because I do recall for my kitchen party, my mother and I went back and forth. You guys had my mom on, I think it was the first, if not second episode of Insaka Talk Show, Sylvia. So her being a Wanachimbusa, she can't have one of her 4 daughters not want to do a kitchen party. And I was really against it. Not because I don't believe in what it represents, but I just didn't want I don't want anybody paying for me for anything. My husband and I had planned out our wedding, I think 17 or 18 months in advance, because we wanted to do payment plans. He and I don't like owing. We've always said we want the only thing we owe should be the house, like that we should have money on. Yeah. So we kind of planned it that way. We bought our house very small, and I remember my real estate agent going, "You got approved for almost $700,000. Why are you trying to go for a house that's not even half of what you got approved for?" So I stopped and I kind of thought, and I'm like, that's kind of like me going to drive a Range Rover when my can only afford a Ford Focus. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to, as a society, if I see that Winnie had $100,000 wedding, she's posting per IG, my $10 an hour job, I'm like, I have to have exactly what Winnie has. So I think this kind of becomes, we want what we see, but what you want and what you can afford usually are like two opposite spectrum. So I think that's kind of where that comes from. So we've kind of lost it. That was my understanding. Again, this is my mom, teaching me. The community did come together for me, and to my recollection, there wasn't really money collected. The women in the community, and when I say community, I mean the whole U.S., because people came from everywhere. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm Auntie, I knew you since you were 12. I don't remember you, but thank you for coming." But they came and they brought food, and they brought what they could give. It wasn't like you got to give 150 a person, and I think kind of where this topic comes from. So that's my understanding. I mean, I don't know. Somebody can correct me if you understand it differently.
Yeah, Priska?
Yeah, that's mine. So I'm just gonna say, stop asking people to pay for your weddings and your kitchen party. If you don't have money, don't form a committee to help you coordinate your wedding. That's my understanding. Stop asking me to give you $500. Stop asking me to buy if you think. Stop asking me to do. You're putting me in an awkward position. So just stop it. That's all that I'm gonna say. I don't have $500. I don't have $600 in my budget for you. If you don't have, I went to a courthouse and I'm still married. We
Nice.
Really?
That's why we did. So if you don't have money, please don't do the wedding. Don't do the kitchen party. Just make it small.
Before Shlamba Nokulanda, and then if you remember now,
We are not doing it.
We're not doing it.
Kami to me na
We are
fema,
just
ano
going-
kami na fie, ngala Mr. Request ko zero request.
You know I don't have a problem saying no. I'll be like, hell no. You were
Zero request installment. Nelly, you're allowed to give. But you know what? What Inga's saying is right. How it used to be, because the young kids used to get married at early age. So communities used to come together. But what we're doing now, you can't ask your friend about, oh, help me do this. No. You can represent it to your friend. This is what I got. I'm in a community. And then when your friend comes, like, this is what I got. What do you think we should do? I'm like, you know what? If we do this and this and this, it can work together. That's the way it's supposed to be. Not why I'm not like Priska said, stop.
Some people
Irene?
don't even know, not to cut you short, Nelly. Like, I've not talked to you in a year, in a few months. You just assume in your mind that and you're gonna put me on your committee. As soon as the wedding is over, the bridal shower is over, there is no hello, how are you? Thank you for coming. That is using people, and you need to stop.
Yeah. Irene?
Well, for me, my take is every situation is different. I have a personal story about my birthday. I think I shared with Priska some years back. A friend, somebody who's in my community, actually talked bad about me for doing my 50th birthday, and people paid $50 to get in. But she did not know where it came from.
I don't want to do that either.
Yeah, but it started. You don't want to do it.
I don't want to pay for coming to a birthday party either.
Yeah, but let me tell you what happened.
How
Yeah.
you
So
got to
you guys all know that I was sick for a very long time. So a lot of friends who are from other states and out of the country couldn't come and see me. They couldn't. So when they heard I was doing a 50th birthday, they're like, you know what? I'll come so that I can see you, since I didn't see you the whole time you were sick. So the number from 75 people that I had budgeted for came to 200 and something. So I didn't know how to say, I couldn't say no to them because most of them were saying valid things. So I rallied a few friends that are close to me, and I told them, this is my problem. They said, okay, you know what? Why don't you do this? Whoever can afford to pay $50 and then pay the difference. So the difference was like $30. So I paid the $30 on top, and some friends would pay like $500. Some will say, okay, I'll give you $50. And that's where it was. But other than that, I wouldn't do a function where I let my friends pay. No, that's why I've never had a kitchen party. I've never had any of these things. No, I'll pay for my own coffee. Thank you very much.
Okay, I do wanna also talk about, to clarify, first of all, what a committee is and what it should do. What is the expectation, right? I think Inga and Priska have already explained. The committee was started. It's supposed to help you plan and coordinate. The primary purpose of your event, to help you plan. Like Inga alluded to when she talked about budget, right? If you can only afford to have 25 people with the finances that you have, then have a wedding for 25 people.
Right.
Don't have a wedding for 200 people.
Yeah.
And then expect abantu batawala ndapona bena. And you've never spoken to me. You've never called me and said, hello, how's the family? You don't know anything. If you've never eaten in my house,
Yay.
you are not my friend. Stop asking me for my money. It's as simple as that.
That's good news.
We are not friends. I'm an acquaintance. I'm somebody you know. My governor's house in that good news.
Yeah, it should just be like, I hear Nelly is getting married, even if I haven't spoken to her in 6 months. I know her. I'll say, Nelly, I heard you're getting married. I'll send you a little token because obviously I might not make your wedding. That is okay.
That's
But
different.
not ukusenda abantu otawalandapo in a long time like
Hey,
that.
hey.
The next thing,
Akisema
I'm on a WhatsApp group. I'm like, wait a minute, who is this putting me on WhatsApp?
Eh,
Then you know how WhatsApp, when they make you join, you have
Yeah.
to wait for a few comments for you to realize what group you're on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, and you're right, Irene. Idiot abantu, you are sitting, you're minding your own business. Why someone messages, you're already in a group. Let's learn to ask.
Yeah.
Let's learn to pick up the phone, have the courtesy to say, hey, Inga, I'm having so. Is it okay if I add you? Are you able? Right?
Yeah.
Find out before you just throw somebody in a committee that they don't know.
Really, thank you for saying that. And this is what I always say. It is so rude for you to just send me a text message and say this and that. Pick up the phone, speak to somebody, ask them. It's just a form of respect and human courtesy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Brenda is in our community. She says, I think these committees should be like your clan, really close people, not committee Abantu 60. Now that's a fundraiser. It's true. Who is close to 60 people? Eh? Are you who is close to 60 people?
And you have to have people that you speak to at least every other day.
Yeah.
Then you can say they are close to me.
Yeah.
If you haven't spoken to me in 6 months, then Yaisa is a WhatsApp group. Deverenga title. Who is this?
People even telling you at now what the balance. I know they put you in this thing and then they call you and start telling you now what the balance. Winga in 2 weeks. Why didn't you push out?
If you can't afford, don't do it. Yeah, you're right, Liz.
Yeah,
Is it right to be added in a committee without your consent? The wedding planner, can we start with you first?
I think people do it because they just figure, well, she's not gonna mind. But I think if I were to add you, I should give you. Sorry,
it's okay. We are mothers.
We're mothers. But I want to be there. Yep.
So I think the appropriate thing would be, okay, you can create a group, but let's say some people just don't like making the phone call, or it may be where my mother says, hey, you have to add auntie so-and-so to the group, but I'm not really close to auntie so-and-so, but my mom thinks she should be part of the committee. I think the appropriate thing is as soon as you get the number, send them a private message. Hi, auntie, da-da-da-da-da. They know who you are, but that's the appropriate thing to do. We have a group that we're forming for X, Y, and Z. Tell who, why, when, where. That way the person can choose. Some people don't like groups. Like WhatsApp is starting to give people anxiety about being added to groups because it's like, oh gosh, how much you guys gonna ask for again this time? Because though you may want to support, like you may add me because you're thinking I'm Auntie Rich, but Auntie Rich might have been sick for the last 6 months and she hasn't been working. She would like to support you, but you adding me to the group, one, you're putting me on the spot. There's the pressure. People start to feel pressured, like, oh, if I don't care, like people will be looking at me because you know how these days I create like a list of names of who contributed, not because we want to show off, mainly for accountability issues, transparency, because people would be like, in a number pass 250, but on the list they wrote 150. No, ma'am, the list is right here. So just for that specific purpose, I think people should just ask. I think people would react differently to it if people would ask in advance. Just don't add people because a lot of people, you see people will exit, and then once one person exits, it changes the mood of the whole group.
Everybody go.
Yeah, I would like to read the comment from Kupi.
Yeah, I saw that. That's good.
So Kupi says, is it right for people back home to add people to committees who are in the diaspora? Sometimes you find yourself in more than 2 groups.
Absolutely not.
First of all, one, we're not even like Facebook friends. You don't check up on me when I'm having my event. Is it okay for me to add you, first of all? in dollars, that's $250. Is it okay for me to add you, those people who are in Zambia? So if it's not okay for me to add you to my committee, Kunoko America, come
Why
on.
should you add me?
Why should you add me?
I'm not even going to be at that event. So really, it's a fundraising because I will not be there.
Yeah. No.
I think when they want to do that, they should call you personally and just get a fundraising from you, but not put you on the committee. Because even the time difference, it won't work. Because when you're discussing very heated things about your shower, and then Kujani 02 in the morning, while I ask 8 hours later, so your input is invalid. But maybe we wanted the answer right then. So you're just decorating the forum, and yet you're not even giving anything.
Yeah,
it's crazy you say that because couple years ago, I would say, I won't say the year, but now I'm going to mbatwita shani ifata hawa bande kwato kitchen party gakwata na matebeto gakwata na wedding. Na sa kuipishana ta no by wedding mwala kwata na matebeto. I was wanting to see how much you can put there. I'm like, first of all, na wedding ishaka beko. Na kitchen party ishaka beko. All me bobe shabe shiba. Kabete beten mweka. I said no. I'm here. And then everything. And then I said, when are you going to have this wedding? Oh, we're going to have this wedding in December. And she's like, I'm in December. So for that, I'm not going to be part of it. And you know what? Buying to me my phone, my brushan, buying to me my text me, these days, I just look at it. Nowadays, we can
see. Stop.
I can see, you know how you see it, like you can see the message and you don't answer after a couple of days. They won't.
Why are you putting me on the spot? Number one to my fight and I'm gonna have messages, but I don't.
Not you. That one is me. I'm saying like Priska says no. I'm learning how to say no. I just said no.
I have to learn how to say no, but like instead, I don't give what they're asking for. If they're asking for $20, even if I have the $20, I'll tell them, let me think about it. Let me look for some money. Then I'll give them 10 and I'll say, this is all I have. Okay, I'm learning. I'm starting from not canneling to at least half.
The question is, can you afford to spare $10?
No.
Then don't give.
I'm learning. That's what I'm saying. I started from giving the whole amount to half to zero. Give me credit, Kylie.
Okay. So I want to talk about the bridal shower. Like, for example, about the kitchen party, like in the Zambian context, we have a kitchen party first. And then before the kitchen party, we know that we're going to have a wedding, kontash, right? So the kitchen party really is where you buy gifts. Like for those of you that are non-Zambian and who are watching right now, Zambian kitchen parties are really where we help the woman dress her kitchen. People go to the extent of buying a fridge, a stove, a microwave, sets of pots and pans, dishes, glasses, you name it. Your whole kitchen is done, right? That's why it's called a kitchen party. And so a lot of money goes into that because for you to buy those big items, it's a lot of money. It costs a lot. Now you find somebody is invited to, or they're part of a committee for a bridal shower or a kitchen party. But when it comes to the actual wedding, they are not invited. Because usually in Zambia, wedding gifts is not something that most people give. Most people just come to the wedding, they eat, they drink, they dance, whatever. They don't typically bring gifts, at least not big ones, right? So now after I've spent my money, my time, my resources in supporting you at the kitchen party, you now have the wedding where ni puando nomba, ni relaxi, kushana ba DJ, ero mwankani no kunshi.
Ukutana Nelly, wa chef yako no chef. Nitwalishtela ya, you've bought this dress. Because now you think after the kitchen party, I'm going to the wedding, I'm going to rock that dress. You're waiting for the invitation, there is no. You wait for the invitation, there is no. And then one form no that niche tell I saw invitation now. Wait a minute.
What about mine?
You have a card and I don't have a card. So it brings a lot of animosity in friendship. So people should know I think it should be whoever comes to the kitchen party and gives a gift should come to the wedding.
That's it.
Yeah. Simple. What do you think about that, Inga?
I agree because I think a lot of times because for the kitchen party, here's the caveat where I think why there's a difference between who you invite to the wedding, who you invite to the kitchen party. The kitchen party is more of a communal gathering. Anybody can come. I don't have to be close to you. Just come because I know you're gonna bring me something because everybody has to present the gift. So that's empty-handed. Like you're gonna go with something. So there's that, community camaraderie. Like if I bring a $10 gift, Priska, you bring a $200 gift, we're presenting together as a group. No one's gonna see that, oh, Inga's gift was so small. No, because you're as a group. So you don't have that pressure. And the bride and the groom know, especially the mothers, my child is going to, the whole house can be furnished just by the kitchen party. Now comes the wedding number, you have to pay usually per person. So like, for instance, in the US currently, as of 2019, the average wedding cost in the United States is about $29,000, give or take. Right?
Yeah.
For how many people?
About 100.
100.
In the US, they prefer to keep it at 75 to 100 people. That's a big wedding. But in our communities, obviously, you guys know that's not,
It's nothing.
It varies. Yeah, it varies. It's also weddings cost more here on the East Coast, and even worse, like when you take it to Massachusetts about 33,000 average. But when for the average wedding. So when you look at the cost and everything that goes into it, typically at the wedding, you're paying per person, like per head. At the kitchen party, everybody's bringing a dish. You're bringing a gift and you bring a dish. We usually go with two things. So because everybody's bringing food, I'm not having to fork over $10,000 for that event. I may have put in like $3,000 maximum. And then the rest of it is the community that's paying for it. Wedding number, I gotta, do I really want to pay $75 for Priska to come eat this filet mignon? That's literally how people decide. And it's like, okay. But then it makes people feel like, okay, so I was good enough to spend my money on your gift and cook a dish for you, come to your kitchen party. Now the wedding kind of makes you feel like that's only for VIPs.
See that?
And that's why people have started to resent that because it's like, okay, so you used me and then you tossed me to the side.
You know, my friend.
Yeah, so it's and then they're like, oh, the wedding, and usually they'll say the wedding's for close family and friends, but it's like, you invited me to the kitchen party, so what's my position? That's right. I think it needs to be clarified, and I agree. I think we need to keep whoever you invite to the kitchen party. If they bring a +1, that's their business, but obviously they know. And I think also in Zambia, I saw this. They hand invitations out like to the wedding at the kitchen party, which I think. The wedding, I think it's tacky personally, and I've seen that done here. It's tacky because if I'm sitting next to Nelly, and Priska, you come and give her an invitation to the wedding. We both brought gifts.
I'll take my gift and go. I swear I would be that stupid.
Check with our viewers over there.
Oh yeah.
Princess Mangala says, me, they even say, Auntie, we are waiting on you. You last talked years ago.
I know.
For your contribution. Yeah.
And then Brenda C says it's okay to tell people no. It gives you some sense of freedom to be able to do you and not for the sake of pleasing people, especially family members. I had to change my settings. Good for you, Brenda.
Melanin Queen says, I would rather contribute to emergency situations, death and sickness. Weddings and kitchen parties are planned events that you can plan accordingly. Find a second job, wait for taxes. Yeah. So moving on, should you for those people that have been married before, right? If you've been married before, maybe it's a second or third or fourth marriage. Should you have a bridal shower every time you get married? Is that tacky? Is that okay?
Yes.
How old are you at that point?
I'm inviting.
Oh, if you're paying for it, but I think at that point, go to the courthouse, come back, have a cookout or something in the backyard and call it a day. Perfect. Or elope or something. Go to an island and do something small. Like it's about the experience. Why? Like, what's gonna be? Okay, yes, a different groom or bride, but honestly, if I'm your friend, you get married for the fourth time, I'm not bringing a present to your fourth wedding. That's too many outfits.
You are not invited, all of you.
Sorry, Winnie. We just come eat your steak and we come empty-handed. I'm just saying.
I know.
Too much.
No, I think you're right. If you're married for the 4th time, the kitchen party now, engagement party now, maybe you can do a wedding. So you want to do, because as women, there's something that maybe you didn't have to get a wedding, you can do that. But
The
kitchen
4th
party,
time,
wedding, huh?
The 4th time?
I know.
I think a wedding party is more ideal. A wedding party is not the one that you do the ding, 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 ding. No, it's just you invite your friends that you are close to, and you still dress up very well. Your husband can wear a tuxedo. You wear
time. No,
it doesn't matter. I'm saying a wedding party is just like a regular party, but you invite the people that because obviously the guy you're getting married to
is
will
new.
be like, okay, you married your first husband with the wedding, the second one with the wedding, the third, and all this.
how many people do we have to be loyal to? My Johnny, John Toapata, Samba. Like Inga said, there's too many outfits. Just go to the courthouse. Don't even tell us now, but just keep moving.
But there are some men who are into weddings than the woman.
No.
What if you meet a man?
Only Mark Anthony.
That's fine. He's gotta be willing to pay for it. If the person is willing to pay for it, then you invite your people. But don't go to the extent of don't form a committee asking people for money, because at that point people are gonna be burnt out, and it's like, oh, here she goes again. Inga's getting married again. People, let's just go. And at that point you burn people out. Like, to have a celebration of, and I've planned like celebration of marriage. Even some couples who are getting married for the first time. And I always tell them, like, when you're planning a wedding, people are like, oh, I called them and they said it's going to be $3,000 for the cake. If you say wedding, they're charging you $3,000. If you say celebration of marriage, it's $300 for the same product. So it's all about the terminology. So if you do ceremony, it's fun. People will come celebrate you. They'll enjoy. They'll be happy. But don't form a committee. It's just
no.
But I think in forming a committee, right? I would say something. A committee, like Nelly said, it should be, I don't know if it's Inga who said that, it should be only people who have come in your house and ate with you. You break the bread together. Don't just bring the outsiders. And then people, we invite to kitchen party. Just make sure, if you don't invite me to your wedding, you will not see me anywhere, because I will not give you my pot. Or even if it's $50 and you don't invite me to your wedding, that's it. You and me friendship is over. Because like I said, what's good for the goose is what is good for what?
The gander. And I want to clarify, guys, ladies, I think what we're talking about here is if you have been part of a committee where like substantial amounts of money have to be contributed for a kitchen party. For example, 150, 200, 250, right? If you're contributing that much on a kitchen party, I think it's only fair that you invite the person wedding.
Exactly.
Yeah. Not just, yes, you're an invited guest to a later gift to Adia. That's different.
Yeah.
Somebody who is so financially invested. Sorry.
So this is what I want to ask. You're in a committee, you're paying $200, right? You're going to pay for ifitenge for the outfits. You're going to pay to have that made.
The seamstress.
Yeah, you're going to be there in the morning, setting up, doing this, doing that, and doing everything else. Are you now expecting a gift from me? Should I just not give you a gift because I've given you my time? I have given. No, I just it's a question. I don't think
I know. I know what you're saying.
I've given you my time. I have paid the committee fee. I have bought the material. I have release ads. I'm there the whole day helping people, setting up, doing this, doing that. Are you really expecting a gift from me?
No. Okay. No. And can I add on what Priska is saying? If I'm getting married, when I get married, I have different friends with different financial pockets. So I should be able to be lenient to some who don't have, but they've been my friends for 30 years. I shouldn't leave them out because they don't have money. Yeah. So now what happens if I put them in the committee and I say, you all pay $300 and she cannot afford? So she will feel some kind of way. So that's why it's very important to pick the friends that you're close to and individually tell them, this is what I'm doing. Tell me what you can afford without putting them on the spot.
That's a
You're
good
paying
idea.
300, you're paying
No.
500, you're paying no.
Don't even have
Don't even ask.
wedding. Kabieni kukoti. Priska ile kukoti mwe bantu wakwalesa. Look at Priska. Look at how she's
Yes,
looking.
I mean my ring's very beautiful.
Eh,
My
eh.
husband
No,
died.
I
No, we are waiting for. We're gonna
I'm
have an
saying-
anniversary.
I'm joking.
If
No,
you
but
don't,
I
don't
understand.
do it. I don't care how many friends you have, who's close to you. Just don't have the wedding. Period.
I think there should be no set when you do a committee, people that you know that are close to you, they should not be a set fee of everybody should pay $200.
That's true.
Guys, some people do not have that $200. If I'm saving to buy a car and saving to do this, you're putting me in an awkward position to now take the $200 that I don't have and give it to you. I'm going to be very resentful. I'm either going to say no and you're going to pata me, or I'm just going to be, I give you $200. I need to fix my car. Do not put a price on it. Let people give you what they can afford to give you.
Hence my statement to say you have to go to your individual friends and tell them I'm getting married. So out of your own pocket, whatever you can afford, let me know. But not bunching them, Pamo. Hello, Marapela, you have to pay $300. If I don't have, I'm struggling on my own. How am I supposed to give you $300 for that? You and I were princess, you were. Princess, I think here Insaka Talk Show, we need our own marriage officiant and air it 1 p.m. with Cheers Tapwa. Hello, tukatongana kane papira.
Princess, don't worry. I'm taking my online course to be an officiant. That prayer will be answered very fast.
Oh, amen, amen.
There you go. There you go. Melanin Queen also said, Liz says, you will also find that people who ask for contributions are the ones who will never support
you. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know,
Mic down. Mic down. That's it.
I think you can also, like I've noticed being part of several groups, you can notice how active a person was in the community or supporting their friends and even strangers by the turnout of how people support them. So like I mentioned in the beginning, when I got married, I was not really in the Zambian community like that. I was with the Nigerians and the Ghanaians because that's sort of how I got into event planning, because they would be like, oh, you're so good with details. Can you help us with this? Can you help us with that? I did that for years, mainly with fashion shows before I transitioned to event planning. But I noticed that there were some people where they'll have like 100 people, and then you see they've only raised $200. And I'm like, then you see another group without even asking, people are like, hey, I hear such and such is getting married. Can you add me to the group? They're volunteering themselves because it's where, you know, Irene has been there for me through this time. I remember when my mom, this, and that. Like I said, half of the people that showed up at my kitchen party, when I see pictures now, I as God is my witness, I don't know them. But only they came because of the seeds that my mother planted prior sisters and I becoming of age. So and she would always drag us to events. We didn't have a choice. You know, if somebody's getting married, we were the ones that were cleaning up the tables. We were the ones that were helping set up.
That's it's supposed to be.
So we started the community service. She started us without us even knowing that that's what she was teaching us. So you can sort of see, and people remember, they'll remember and they'll show up without you even asking. You won't even have to beg. Some of them don't even add to the group. They'll send you stuff. When I was pregnant with Tandy, I didn't tell a lot of people I was expecting, but as God is my witness, there were people, random, like people from the community, majority of you within the US, that were sending me cash apps. And I'm like, no, because people would be like, where's your registry? We don't have one. Next thing I see, ding, there's a Zelle, there's a cash app.
Yeah.
But I didn't have to ask for that. Even if I need it, I'm not going to ask. Like Irene, I'm not one to ask. I don't like people doing stuff for me. But let people give from their heart, and people will give more actually when they give wholeheartedly without you asking, say, everybody $50 per person or else. But it's like, okay, what if I don't have it? Then there's no love, you know? So it kind of puts an awkward and a strain on relationships, I think, in my opinion, because then I just feel like, Mambika from a group because you want my money after this.
Yeah. And that's a great point, you know, Inga. And I want to also clarify, because all of us have had experiences here. I've been married. For those of you that don't know, I've been married twice to the same man. Okay. we had our first wedding, my husband and I, and it was financed by my American mom, you know, Auntie Mary Giles. She just said, okay, I got the food, baby. She helped me find a venue. The venue was very cheap. I think it's a community center. It was like $400 for the whole. That's what we paid. This was back in 2009. And then an auntie of mine, Auntie Rhoda, paid for the alcohol, and some other friends, close friends of mine. So, but I never had a committee. I didn't ask anybody. People just came and said, we're doing this, we're doing this. And my dress came from Goodwill. Okay. I found a dress to Goodwill, took it to the cleaners, dry cleaners, and it was a dashing, beautiful dress.
Yeah.
Now, the second time my husband and I were getting married, I just said, Basi turea court. Let's just go to the courthouse. My friends said no. My friends were like, no, you're not going to the courthouse. We are going to do the wedding. I said, no, I really just want to take the money and have a honeymoon, because we never had a honeymoon the first time we got married, right? But my friends were like, no. My friend Kuyanda paid for the venue. She was like, I got the venue. It was over, it was thousands. She paid for it. I was like, then she says, if you're Shala, your close friends will cook. We'll just cook because I was like, I really don't want. And she's like, no, let's just have. So they cooked. The women came together. They put food together. They made a menu, and they prepared the food. The men gave, most DFW women and men, I believe they gave $25 to $50. I don't know how many they were, but and I still have some alcohol from the wedding. That's how much alcohol was there. It was a lot. So that, in a sense, it's a community coming together and saying, hey, I recognize you. I see your efforts that you do for us from time to time. And now we feel like this is our time to pay you back. So my mom always says, the good that you do will always, will pay you back. It's like what you were saying. Your mom was teaching you to be of community service. A good name is better than silver and gold.
That's true.
So if you have a good name, you don't even need to put a price on it. People will come up and do what they need to do for you.
Yeah,
you're right, Nelly, on that one. Actually, this resonates to my the topic that I said that I had a birthday when I was turning 50. The reason why I had 200 and some people come to them, because I was sick. You guys all know I had been sick for like 3 years. I was sick. So a lot of people came through like, oh, we didn't see you. We're coming to see you. So 100 turned into 150, 150, turned into 200 and something plus. But I had close friends that realized we were going to be more. They started giving me more money than we discussed as friends. So it's okay to have a group of friends that will rally for you and say, look, that we require to save money. Let's put this together and make it work. And we had fun. That's the suppose. You see, you had fun at your second wedding. It wasn't like the normal white wedding. You just came together, a communal thing, and you did it. And now it's memorable.
To add on that, and that goes for the point that Lizzie made, it's always the ones that do not support people, do not support the community, that expect people. In that, Winnie, Nelly and Irene, because you are community people, you support people. Like you said, your mom sowed the seed for you. You didn't even know that you were doing community work. So good comes to those that do good, and people should learn from this. Don't just be sitting there. When it's your turn, you want people to come and support you. And give money, and when they don't give money, you get mad. You need to stop it. We're not.
Did I say something about that, Priska, when you finish?
Yeah, I went to your wedding. 2 friends of mine that I introduced, they got married. She told her friends, she was like, I'm getting married. Same thing with you, Nelly. They were like, no, we're going to do a wedding for you. She had less than 50 people, but it was one of the most beautiful weddings that I've been to. Somebody paid for the dress, and everybody that was there for their love. There was no but it was so beautiful and genuine, because our friends really loved her. Why? Because she's always there for people. She's always supporting people. When you have an issue, she'll be like, Mwana, this is what we're going to do. Mwana, this. That's why people came together and paid for a wedding, which was beautiful.
Just like you guys are going to pay for my wedding, since you love me.
We're not paying for a wedding, sis. It's just that thing.
I'll just say something. This comes again to the.
Speaking of paying, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Winnie. And when you are done, can we talk about the the
Yes.
bride paying for
Yes.
outfits. Go ahead.
Yes, I'll do that. I think, guys, we're running out of time, but I think we're going to give up a little bit time so we can finish, so we don't have to come back. But we'll come back because we have more juicy into this topic. But I would say on this one, it's the same thing now with Fililo. We're talking about weddings, but not enough weddings. Now we feel it. People will come for you, they will support you, they will help you. But you're giving them another $10 when you know you pay them $100. It's not okay. It's not fair. We need to understand. This is for everyone in diaspora. Let's look into ourselves. All day. You do the same to them, they will do the same to you. And then there are those people who are very good. They give, they do this, and then look why say no, guys, we all work. Let's try to help ourselves because we are the only communities. We are the community. We are the only people. Our families are far, far away from us. So if you see your friend is going through something, help them. They don't have to ask.
Help if you have.
Oh yeah.
But what about if you don't have the money for the contribution, you can easily help by going in your pantry. You have flour, make iftumbua, you have rice, make jollof rice or whatever. Tell the person that's having the party, like, Mana, I'm really down financially, but I love cooking. Let me bring something that I can cook from home. If you bring 4 or 5 trays of food and you didn't contribute, and the owner of the party still goes and talk about you outside, you should never see heaven. You'll never see heaven.
That's what I was
I was actually going to ask if we could read the comment from G.
That's a Z Chef.
The Z Chef. Yes. There's another comment there. There's another comment. Thank you, G. Thank you for watching.
I ended for my mom.
Memory says it depends what you're comfortable with. Don't have a wedding if you can't afford it. Have a wedding if you can. Okay.
Totally agree.
I know I don't read that fast.
Sorry, I thought whatever. Papa, I'm sorry, my love.
Can you put Muna's?
No, I'll start from there.
No,
okay.
No.
You want me to go up?
Okay. No, there's a comment below that yeah, the long one.
The one underneath Brenda. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It says a community that recognizes a good heart will always be there for you without even asking. Your work in the community goes a long way. That's why you have a beautiful circle of friends that can come through. And she's right. Like you guys were saying, Tawenda, and then when you have a function, you're saying, you're looking on the window, so and so is not coming. They didn't come. When you don't even reciprocate when it's the 10th.
Yeah. And that's my goal this year. If you don't come to my things, I'm not coming to your things.
Damn.
You too. I came to the Williams on the Hope Foundation. I came to this. I'm joking.
Charity says, I think wedding party is cool. It's the fourth, but it's a fourth marriage unless you and your spouse can choose to sponsor, which is true.
Yeah.
You have to talk about it with your spouse to say, look, I've had too many weddings. You want to sponsor me? I'm out. I'll just make vitumbua and tea. Everybody will drink. My friends are cool. They'll be fine with that.
I think we already read that comment.
Yeah, we read that one.
All right, then just go to that. We're just gonna go back to our this one. Nelly, you wanted to talk about the outfits?
You missed that one. It said Nelly paid for the wedding something. The last one. Did you read it?
Sandra Msoma.
Yeah.
Oh.
So Nelly paid for my wedding venue, and all my friends and family helped with food and drinks. My second wedding was small and personal, and that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, it was very beautiful.
You see how it is. Like sometimes the people that bless you, you end up blessing somebody else, and without it kind of goes like a trickle down.
Yes,
that's how God sets it up. And it's often not the people we give the most to that are going to give back to us. That's just been my experience. And there's some people where, like Sandra here, she still remembers that Nelly did that. Nelly may have even forgotten that.
I forgot, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's how it always happens. And it's always like, you're like, are you sure it was me? Yeah. People remember how you made them feel in that moment. And it's like, if you're giving genuinely, Nelly's friends came years later. Now they're
Mhm.
coming to give to you. So it's kind of like a trickle down effect. But I think, they say plant a seed and, it shall be sown unto you. But I think it depends on the community. It's just that we're not complaining. We're just talking about the expectation of give, especially
Right.
those of us with, we come from big families, most Africans, I think.
Mhm.
And it's like every 2-3 months there's somebody getting married, and it's like, let's take a break. If I'm giving $200, we got 5 weddings in a year, that's $1,000 I could have put towards my life insurance policy. So you start to, honestly, that's how I think these days, because you have to plan like that, because if you're constantly giving the same amount,
Mhm.
you find yourself that when you're doing your taxes, and I didn't even consider this until I was doing my taxes. Pandemic taught us a lot of things: setting boundaries, setting budgets, making sure. Yes, I may ask you for $200. Give me 50 and say, my friend, I hope you can figure out the rest.
Manage it.
Put it for yourself and your kids, because as we've seen, majority of these days, many of us work 2-3 jobs.
Yeah.
When we die, we got nothing left for our kids. But here you go, Inga's wedding cost her $50,000. No, but why would you have a $50,000 wedding, but you don't even have a college fund or custodial account for your daughter? So it's things like that we have to start thinking about. I wouldn't mind contributing to something like that. So, you're setting up a college fund for your daughter? Sure. We're not doing a wedding. Instead, the money will put it towards X, Y, and Z, because it's something that is needed. And a wedding is not a necessity. We want it. Today, why am I Kim Kardashian weddings? But what we can afford and we want to is nothing compared to Kim Kardashian. But at the end of the day, it's not the wedding that makes the marriage. It's what you put into it. Kim had how many beautiful weddings? She's been divorced how many times? So because when you look at it statistical wise, the number one reason for divorce is not infidelity. Surprisingly, it is finances.
Finances.
Yeah, because we're looking at, Nelly lives in a mansion. Now you name for me more apartments. Let me go pay $3,000 that I don't have. So we have to, like, weddings are the same exact way. We're always emulating. Social media is our enemy. And I always tell my clients when I'm planning their weddings, stay off social media. I'm begging you, please stay off social media. Do not compare and don't get ideas, because you can see on Instagram, you may not be able to afford, and it's going to make you feel like your wedding was not the best. Why? Because you're comparing to somebody else. You're driving a Ford Focus and you're comparing to a Range Rover. Stick to your category.
I'll say something what Mr. Pastor Nathan was saying last week. Wedding, right? Mwafika. Then you 2 of you. Now you spend more money. You have date and and then 2 months later, because you did not plan.
Yeah.
You use all the money and then you have nothing. And then guess what? You'll be fighting and fighting. Oh, when we were dating, it was beautiful. It was nice. No, you're fighting because you can't even afford to go out and eat. You have so much to plan.
Yeah.
I have one of my cool friends. I'll mention it because it was beautiful. Our wedding was beautiful. Malita had a wedding. They got married 3 years before. Like, they got married court. And then 3 years later, they saved the money. They had a beautiful wedding. It was 130 people, I would say. Our wedding was beautiful and everything was paid for. It was about 20-something thousand. And these 2 young people paid for. And then they went, that time they wedded to save their money. They were going for marriage counseling. It's something I learned, and I look up to her. When they got trouble, when she was, the baby was preemie, so she stayed home for a while before going to giving birth. Because of everything that they went for the length of 3 years, saving money, going for marriage counseling, when they was going through this hard time with themselves, it was calm, it was peaceful. Because guess what? All that time, they could have rushed to get that wedding because they had money, but they waited to save everything and paid for everything. Their honeymoon, everything was paid for. It was beautiful. So guys, save your money.
Yeah.
Have a mind upset like Priska. I want to go to court. I will go to court. But I'll send you Zelle.
I'm not. I went to court and we saved money so we can purchase this beautiful house.
I know. That's what I'm
saying.
That's what I'm saying. You went to court because you had other things important in your life than just having flashy for me to come and eat and drink in your house. No.
And the thing is, half of those people at the wedding that you're asking people to pay for, you don't even like.
No. Yeah. And some of them don't even know you.
So what's the point?
No.
You say you don't even like.
No.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true. You find people come to your event They will even tell their friends, in and there, and therefore I'm on if why? And then they'll come and dissect. I'll do it in the biological term. They'll dissect everything from the food, your dress, everything. Well, sister, it's not your wedding.
Wow.
Which is why you should not expect them to pay, because now you are giving them the power.
Yes.
To judge you. You understand? Yes. When you expect people to put in so much, you are handing over the power to them to judge you now. They feel like they have the right. Drink it, because now they feel like this is our wedding and they will not be.
You guys give them the power to have an opinion on your marriage too. When people pay for your wedding, they feel like, look, we're part of this marriage. So if I gotta get divorced, I have to consult the community. And it's like, because you feel guilty. And I'm like, I don't want that pressure. And I think for us, that was the main thing. I was like, we wanted to do our wedding the way we wanted to do it. I only wanted to invite the people that I wanted to invite. And I'm like, it is what it is. 125 people is all I can afford. And that's what I'm going to stick to. But you have to stay in your lane, and you're going to ruffle some feathers, and you will burn bridges when you're planning weddings. That's something I had to learn, because you can't make everybody happy. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It's just a wedding. It's one day. Once that's done, you have to go home and live with each other. Half of those people, it's true. 5 years from then, you won't even be talking to half of them. All
right, we'll go to the next one, because we have, I'm sorry to cut you off, Miss Inga. We're going to go like couple ones so we can close it. But I have this one that we have here with the ladies.
Yeah.
People stick with their own cultural attires or adopt people's cultural attires, e.g. Nigerians, Ashobi or Gele, if you like. What do you think? I'll answer first. I don't care for any of those things, because I feel like we give them so much power. Their outfits, their Nigerian outfits are very beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but that's their tradition. That's what they wear. So why am I going to wear a gele and I should be to a Zambian wedding, my own wedding? That means I'm not showcasing my own culture. We have Duku Zambia and Chitenge. Why can I make a very beautiful outfit that looks like a wedding dress in Chitenge and wear Duku? I'm still an African. Why am I going to follow somebody else's tradition and culture? So for me, Ashobi, Gele, there is no. And this is on a personal level. I was married to a Nigerian. I don't even have one. Not even before. I never had.
Look at that. She didn't even do it. No, but I was thinking, if you're married to Nigeria.
What did you say?
I said I feel a little different about that. I think, because here's how I look at it, right? Because I saw there was a couple, I think like 2-3 months ago, where somebody, a Zambian, they had one of these Nigeria, whatever outfits. One, I commended them on it. And here's my reasons why. For centuries, we've been brainwashed to think that anything Western is better than Africa, right? So we're always trying to emulate whatever's closest to what Americans are doing, what Americans are wearing. And for once, we have an African culture. Like when you look at the Ethiopians, Nigerians, Moroccans, you can tell, even about Uganda, you can tell when you look at their outfits where those people are from. We're finally starting to embrace who we are. Like, okay, I'll be honest, for me, in Zambia, the only two cultures or tribes that I can say or have specific attire are the Lozis with the Msisis and the Chewas and Tumbukas who, what's this, in their province. But the only thing that I know is like the Shaka Zulu stuff that they wear, but I don't know any other like traditional Zambian attire that I've seen. I'm open to learning, but I think a lot of us, our generation, we don't know what Zambian traditional attire looks like, to be honest. And the Lozi Msisi outfit, it's not very flattering, to be honest, like to the figure, because we want to show our shapes and stuff. But sorry, no offense, I am half Lozi, to my people. But like when Mampi wore it, it was a shorter Masisi. I loved it. I was like, oh, that's style I can wear. Can you imagine on your wedding day? You don't want to look like Ramboya, so, but I'm just saying. So I think we can wear that, because I've seen people wear outfits from Dubai, which I can't stand. We emulate anything but Africa. So I feel like if you want to look like a Nigerian, go ahead. I mean, maybe they should pick a different country than Nigerians, because they already are big-headed. But I just think let's embrace all Africa. We're all one, really, if you think about it. We should just delete our borders and just become one continent.
You know what? I just feel like to each his own. For me, no. Nigerian, no. I cannot do Ashobi. I cannot do Gele. No personal reasons. Don't come after me. My child is Nigerian, so you can't do anything to me. I'll bring the whole village.
I didn't even know until Inga said about Zambian having our own. I didn't even know until she said something. I just know like our thing is ifitenge period, which all Africans wear.
Yeah.
So what is really our Zambian traditional outfit when we go Kuma kitchen party, when we do this? I didn't even know. Come to think of it.
And you're right though. When you think about it, the what we call Zambian chitenge, right, is what we derive from the Congolese. Congo kula batibare bi chef tenge fiale kwata limetuma pepla muna kafika omukaisa ba flare di elo golo kunshi ba fala ko sketi olobaka ke chitenge, right? Then ibaka kaduku. To be honest, even that I think to afumishe ku Congo, right? But what is really
that's true.
Maybe the Ngonis and the Lozis. The Ngonis, though, their traditional outfit is very revealing. So that's obviously, that's what I'm saying. Only Ngoni and Lozi. Since you asked, like which one, but only those two.
Only those two. I don't know of any other ones. Maybe they are, but if they are, can somebody please come teach us, share pictures? We would
let
love
us know in the comments.
Embracing that.
All right.
So okay, I think this should be the last one.
Yes,
so,
this should be the last one because we're
gonna need a part 2 to this topic because obviously it's touching a lot of people.
I know.
I think we should do a part 2.
So we have those events where people say, I don't want any gifts. I think to Adequata fiance, we just want money. Is it rude when someone emphasizes on monetary gifts only? I personally, for the second wedding, I just said, just bring money if you can. There's no need. I just said there's no need for gifts. But if you want to give, I'll take cash, gift cards, and whatever. But I took away the component of ama gifts because I looked at my home; it was already full. To look how hold the palace, I just said I don't really need anything. Just a company of friends, family, good times. That's all. So I don't know what you guys think.
I think it's okay. As a matter of fact, I prefer money because my choice of things that I like will be different from you. If you like I said, I don't do animal print. So you're going to buy me something animal print that I'm not going to use. And it's going to be rude. So please give me money. I think money work.
Sorry.
Money, give me money too.
Okay.
I'll be okay with the dollars. Nelly, Cash App, Zelle. Prisca, give me my information. Inga, soon you'll be receiving.
You are now fundraising for your wedding.
I am studying early.
Don't expect us to pay for your wedding and kitchen party, and you're now going to fundraise.
We'll start by example. Okay, we'll do the group, but you won't give us an amount. We'll just donate. We'll sonkela what we can sonkela. I don't think it's
if I ever get to that point, if I'm doing something, I don't think I'll do that. Maybe I'll say, this is what I got, and this is what I'm doing. Whatever you think you want to do it, because you cannot put a price on your friends. It's not okay, guys.
No, you should just save money and do your own wedding. Don't ask us to pay for your wedding. We don't have it in our budget. We are not going to pay for it. Go to the courthouse. Don't do that.
My friend, are you not my friend?
No, we don't go and get married. Chupo chove, you said yes.
That's very true.
Got nothing to do with us. Just go to the courthouse and get married. When you have money, then have a reception. Period. Point. Don't ask. I don't have a budget for anybody's wedding, anybody's kitchen party, anybody's anything this year.
And I'll be saying my kitchen party, I want red and blue.
Okay, guys. My husband put a comment. Winnie, tukakupang it up at July 4th, red, white, and blue. Really? It's like, right? My husband put a comment there. Can you please share
it? Red and blue. 4th July. Nama parachute cash. Papa.
It's cheaper. People will be off work.
So our brother, Mr. Anthony Bartholomew, says, being from the Caribbean, our traditional clothes is an African descent, not what we wear normally.
Is of African descent. Okay.
Yeah. So I think what he's trying to say is that people from the islands, a lot of them, they emulate the African culture because they don't have their the traditional out. And it's okay for them to do that because we want them to be part of what Africa, is all about. But I'm saying within Africa, I have a problem. I wear Ethiopian clothes before I wear gele.
You just don't like them.
Okay,
Just say that. You just don't like them, Irene.
could we please have the comment from Auntie Joyce Changuchi, where she's our former
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Kunoku DFW. She is watching. She's our the first female president of the association. So she and Inga have something in common. So she says Zambia, Congo, and Malawi were one. That is why we wear. Okay, she meant to say wear chitenges. Yeah. So I think she was referring to the outfits that we were talking about.
I know we've gone over the time. Can we did not talk about should a bride pay for the bridal party dresses?
Oh, yeah.
Inga, your wedding coordinator, what are your thoughts on that?
For the bridesmaids' dresses?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, they should pay for their own. But like when you pick your bridesmaids' dresses, like for instance, when I was picking mine, I had to consider everybody's budget, everybody's income, everybody's responsibilities. Because when you get married, there's some that are single, some are divorced, some have kids, some don't have kids. Everybody's financial situation is going to be different. So you can't do a one size fits all for everybody. Pick something that's affordable. Don't go pick. I think the most expensive bridesmaid's dress I've had to pay to be in someone's wedding was $245. And I wore it once. I've never worn the dress again. It's just sitting there. So no, I mean, but if I'm paying for it, if I don't give you a gift, that's my gift to you, because you're going to want specific shoes. You're going to want my hair to look a certain way. And we had to get our hair done a certain way, that I normally don't wear. So obviously I had to go pay somebody to do it. So no, I think that should be individuals, but your bridesmaid should not have to pay for your wedding dress. And I've seen that once, and I thought it was very tacky where
What?
in the they asked for their dress, but budget things, but that Priska said, you can't afford it, don't have it. We will love you, we will support you, we'll contribute, but yeah,
Absolutely, yeah.
I think
All right. So
because you will wear that dress once. You were never going to wear it again. You go to David's bridal and pick some ugly dress or whatever. If I can afford, Nelly, you paid for yours, right? Or you made it.
yeah. So what I did for the second wedding, the bridal party, was I bought chitenge material from Zambia, brought it here, and then I just asked the ladies for their waist measurements, and I required everybody to just wear a black dress. Everybody has a black dress, and then we made some peplum chitenge aprons that I paid for, and they just put that on sana.
Oh,
and
cute. That was really
and that was
simple.
it. So yeah, I did not want them to pay for it.
So you learned something, right? That's what we were. We're coming in blue dresses.
Mhm.
You make the white thing for us.
Blue, red, and white.
Blue, red, and because that way one mkesa no one kai ni 4th July mkesa no one right tukashita barbecue and that's it.
All right. So in conclusion, and we are out of time, but we wanted to give you guys time because we see you're engaged. We see that you're enjoying this. But in the interest of time, we have to wind down, and we do appreciate Inga for taking the time to join us today in this really, really contentious topic. And thank you for adding your own flavor to it. We appreciate you joining us today. So just in closing, what are the last words to the person at home watching? What's their takeaway from this?
First, I want to say thank you, ladies, and great job continuing to do the program, because I know it's not easy. Every Sunday you got to set time aside, and it's not just a one-day thing. I'm sure you take days to prep to get to this point. So I'm proud of each and every one of you. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
We're cheering you on. But to add to that, in conclusion, my thing is, I always say a wedding is not a necessity. That's the number one thing. A wedding does not make your marriage. It's what you put into your marriage that makes the marriage. I've seen people who got married in the backyard, who got married in the courthouse, that are still married 20 plus years later. And I've seen people spend $50,000, $70,000 on a wedding, and they're divorced in less than a year.
Yep.
And it's not the price that you spend on the wedding, because the glitz and glam, it does look great to have pictures and blah, 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 blah. But in the end, it's not worth it. Like, invest in your future, in your home, in your kids, and things like that. Because that one day, for me to pay $125 for people to come eat there, like I think Irene said, they're just gonna come. Some people will come criticize. Know who your circle is. Know who your people are, especially before you announce your engagement, so that you know, when I have my event, these are the 60 people that I know will write for me, that will be there for me, that will pray for my marriage, especially that is very important. People that will pray for your marriage, that will cover you, and they will say, even if they don't hear from you, women, I haven't heard from you, such and such, how are you doing? They genuinely care for you, because a lot of us, we spend too much time and money on people that don't matter to us. A wedding is beautiful, don't get me wrong, but you don't have to do it then. You can do it when you can afford to. Do it the way you want to. Culture is there, but culture sometimes I feel like we need to be careful in how much we apply it to what we do, because we're burning bridges with people, putting pressure on people to Songela to pay for our weddings, but it's not for me, it's not a necessity. It's not surgery. You're not going to get surgery to save your life, but to each their own. People are going to do what they want to do. I say stay in your lane, invest more in your marriage. Like Winnie said, Malita and them did premarital counseling. We did it too. And I'm always a proponent of that, because those hard conversations have to be had to prep for your marriage. Those are the things you need to prep for your marriage. Not by Instagram, live, it ain't got wedding Niger digest.
Showing off.
So in conclusion, I think do what's within your budget, in short. Do what's within your budget. Stick to your budget. Don't copy what somebody else did. And just because your wedding was small does not mean your marriage is any less. You probably have even better marriage if you paid more. So anyway, if anybody wants to reach out, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook. Right now it's just Inga Kim. My wedding page is Tolea Wedding Planning. We're revamping right now because we're on hiatus, but you can reach out to me on my personal page. I do consultation as well. So reach out to me if you have any questions, whether you're here, not back home, because I'm not very versed in Zambia. One day I will be. But for right now, we're just in the U.S. So thank you for this moment. We appreciate you, and I'm sure I will see you guys sometime soon now that the word is open.
Yeah.
All right.
Free.
And Inga, when you get a chance, please post your, can you share in the comments as well your contact information?
Sure.
Thank you. Irene?
I think my take is wait until you have money.
Yep.
Do not do a wedding because you're being pressured. Your friend had a beautiful wedding. Like, Winnie said her friend had a wedding. They had a plan with the fiance. They said, you know what, if we have to wait 3 years, we are going to wait 3 years until everything is set. That's number one. Two, there's no book, like Pastor Nathan says, that's written that you have to invite 200 people.
Yeah.
There's nothing, it's not written anywhere. You can have 20, 25 people, and they're very intimate to you. They're close to you. They understand you, and they will enjoy with you. Even when your cake is not tasting good, they're not going to sell you out. Even if your food is not good. So those are the people you invest in. That's just my take.
Priska?
I agree with what Inga said and Irene, and I just wanted to add on this. I know we talked about you don't have to have 200 people in your wedding. People should not be offended if we talk. Nelly, you said there's a difference between friends and acquaintances. Some people that we think they're our friends, they're actually our acquaintances. Vice versa. I take you as my friend, you don't take me as your friend. So if you don't invite me to your wedding, it's okay. If I have money to invite 50 people, those are my close people that are, like Inga said, that pray for a marriage thing, that are there for me every single day. And if you left out, don't feel offended. It's okay to go to a courthouse and get married. It's okay to have 5-10 people and celebrate with them. Don't put pressure on people to pay for your weddings and your kitchen party. I'm going to repeat this again. It's very rude. You're going to break friendships. So I wish everybody that's getting married the best, and everybody that's going to courthouse like I did the best. When you have money, then do the actual celebration. Yep. That's my take on this.
Miss Nelly, yourself?
Sorry. To just sum it all up, go for what you can afford. If you can afford it, Don't do it. Wait until you're ready. Excuse me.
They don't want you to say.
Yeah, stop expecting people to pay for your wedding, and plan. Have a plan. You don't have to do it today, tomorrow. Have a plan. You can still do it at 45 years in marriage. Just have a plan. Get your house together before you actually show the people what you are doing. It's okay. Even if you stay together for 10 years, it's okay if that's your plan. So stop having people paying for your wedding. Save a little by little, you'll get there one day. And stop watching Instagram. Want to be like Beyonce's wedding. All right. On that.
All right. Thank you so much for watching the Insaka Talk Show. It has been a really great conversation. We are still keeping this conversation going in the comments, guys. Let's keep it going. If you have anything to share, any experiences that you've gone through, please feel free to stay in the comments and let us know. Join us again next Sunday because we have a very interesting topic. Sorry, Priska, you want to tell them what the topic is next Sunday, or did you black out like me?
Please, you should learn how to pay in Congolese. Don't be Congolese and you don't pay. Pay your debt.
We're talking about in Congolese. Those that don't pay debt back.
Not just
Rihanna says, "Bit better have my money."
No,
All
not
right.
even don't pay. Don't just Congola, period.
All right. It's been
Yo,
great.
this was amazing. This was amazing. Thank you, Inga, again. Like Nelly said, Priska, my Irene here. We did an amazing job. And guys, let's keep on having this conversation. If you request for number 2, we are here. Inga can come back. We can still come back. But this year, yo, we have so much for you. We're going to go in.
Oh,
Bitch, better
also,
have my money.
not to forget, we are introducing the Insaka men. We
Oh,
are
yeah.
yeah. Not to
Oh,
forget.
okay.
Yeah,
We'll
we
be
have-
introducing Insaka Men, so we have a lot lined up for you guys. Please stay tuned. This is your show. We've always said, yeah, no, this is your platform. Anything that you want to share, let us know. But yeah, we got to go now.
Thank you. Love you.
Guys.
Love you.
Bye.